Hi, I'm Ronald Pruitt of For a Good Cause. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to configure your brand new Authorized.net account to get it ready for your first transactions on the For a Good Cause platform. Authorized.net is your payment gateway. It does for a website what a credit card terminal does in a physical store. It virtually swipes the card and goes out onto the credit card network to determine whether that card should be approved or authorized. If the card is authorized, then the donation can be approved and it sends a transaction ID and approval back to the For a Good Cause website. On a nightly basis, Authorized.net will batch your transactions from that day and send it to your merchant account for deposit. There are a few minor configurations you need to make to your Authorized.net account to make sure you're ready to start processing live credit cards. Let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is log into your Authorized.net merchant interface at account.authorized.net. Once you're logged in, especially if this is a new account that you've never configured before, you'll be presented with some account configuration steps. These are some of the things we'll be talking about in this video. Use this as a handy guide to look at the things that you need to be configuring as you configure your new Authorized.net account. The first thing that you're going to want to do is click on Account, come under General Security Settings, and click on Test Mode. You need to turn your account from Test Mode to Live Mode. Move that bar across to Live Mode. Now you can accept real credit cards and can process real transactions. Let's click on Account again. The next thing that you need to do is configure your security settings. These are the basic settings that protect you against online fraud. These are the settings that help make sure that the donor that's giving you a donation is actually the card holder and has permission to use that card. The first thing we'll configure is your card code verification. This is that card security code on the back of your credit card. The default settings that you get from Authorized.net initially are what you want to go with. Make sure that this filter, fraud filter, is enabled, that this box is checked. Make sure that you're declining cards when you do not match a card security code. The other settings, you can allow processing on those cards, and those can be accepted. Once you have your settings correct, click Save. Click Account again. The next thing you will configure is the address verification service. This verifies that the donor knows the address on the card, which is another good way to make sure that they are the card holder. Again, the default settings that you get from Authorized.net are the way to go. Make sure that this filter is enabled with this box checked. Make sure that you, under the general AVS responses, that you're declining all of these. These are typically things like the AVS system is unavailable or that the bank is from outside the United States. These are typically transactions that you want to decline. Make sure that you're declining transactions where you have no match on the street address and no match on the zip code. But it's typically okay to allow transactions where you do get some sort of match on the address or the zip code. Once you have your settings correct, click Save. Click Account again. Also under Security Settings, you'll set a daily velocity. This is the number of transactions per day that you typically expect. Make sure that this filter is enabled with this box checked. Enter in the number of transactions you anticipate per day. Make sure that the green flag is checked, as once you go over your threshold, you still want transactions to process as normal, but you want to be alerted to high activity. This will help keep you aware if you are getting an inordinate amount of number of transactions. You can check on those to make sure that they're not fraudulent. Once you get your filter the way you want, click Save. Click Account again. The next thing is your business settings. You want to set your transaction cutoff time. Click Transaction Cutoff Time and choose the time of the day that you want Authorize.net to batch your transactions together to send them to your merchant account for deposit. Authorize.net will batch transactions once a day. I typically recommend setting your transaction time for the end of the day. When you set the time, you also need to set the time zone. That's also under Business Settings. You can set this to your time zone, or if you would like to align yourself with the For a Good Cause platform, you can set it for Central Time, as that's where our servers are. When you get the time zone you want, click Submit. Finally, the other configuration that you're probably going to want to make is under Account and User Administration. Use this section to create logins for any staff that also need access to Authorize.net. This is a good time to do that. Click on Add User, select the role for your user, select the emails that they should receive, click Next, and you'll be able to create a login and password for that individual. Those are the basic configurations that you need to get started with Authorize.net. In our next video, I'll talk about how to connect Authorize.net and the For a Good Cause platform. If you have any questions about configuring Authorize.net, contact us at support@foragoodcause.com or call us at 770-517-5962. Thank you.